Hello, Foothill Choir Department. My name is Miss Earl. I am the new director of choirs at Foothill High School. I know what you're thinking. If you are the director of the choirs, why are you not here? And that is a very fair question. So I was recently hired on as the director at Foothill, but I am going to be coming from out of state. I'm moving from California, and the process of getting my teaching license transferred into the state of Nevada is a very long one, and the state is not, unfortunately, moving very quickly on that. So while I am waiting for that paperwork and that license to be transferred, I am so grateful for the support of Mr. Party, Miss Thomas, and everyone in the music and the visual and performing arts departments at Foothill who are supporting and helping you guys to have a great first couple weeks of school. I promise I will be with you as soon as I can. I wanted to make this video to introduce myself. I had Mr. Thomas gather up a couple of questions from the students that I thought I would answer for you today. So the first question people asked was, tell us about yourself. Where are you from? So I'm actually a Las Vegas native. I grew up in the Las Vegas Valley, and I was able to be a part of just some amazing choirs in Las Vegas. From the time I was a little girl, I was singing in a children's choir that just absolutely changed my life. I fell in love with choral music. And I really haven't stopped since. And that leads right actually into our second question. The second question was, how did you become a choir teacher? So I started singing as a kid in those children's choirs in Las Vegas. I loved it and I never stopped. I actually went to the Las Vegas Academy. I studied with the current director there, Megan Frankie, and was just absolutely in love with choir and the amazing world of choral music, and that was something I wanted to keep pursuing. So I went to Brigham Young University. I got my degree in music education with an emphasis in choral music. I absolutely loved my experience there at BYU. I was able to be a part of so many amazing choirs, including the BYU Singers, which is an internationally recognized, very elite college choir. It was a huge honor to be a part of that group. And I also got to found and direct some of my own choirs. I got to teach a choir on campus at BYU. I got to participate in many different internships and music making opportunities. Found an incredible community there that took me all across the world. It took me to Jerusalem. It took me to Cochabamba, Bolivia. And then eventually I ended up out in the Bay Area during the pandemic, looking for a place where I would be able to get started with my career and be teaching in the middle of a global pandemic. Definitely wasn't in my plan, wasn't, I think, what any of us hoped for or were expecting. But now that things are starting to sort of go back to normal a little bit, hopefully soon, I'm really looking forward to coming back to Las Vegas and teaching choir full-time at Foothill. Question number 3, why do you love music or choir? I wanted to just tell you a little bit about my feelings about choir and sort of what my philosophy is when it comes to music and choir and music education. The thing that I think is so powerful about music is summed up in a quote by Victor Hugo, who was a famous writer. He said, "Music expresses that which cannot be put into words, but which cannot be kept silent." I absolutely love that quote, and I think it's so true. Music can express things that language sometimes simply cannot. When our feelings get to be too powerful for words, when we can't express them through writing or through speaking, or sometimes even through other media like visual art, sometimes music gives us a means to express those deepest and most profound inner feelings of our hearts and souls. And I felt that. I've been touched by that. I also love being able to use music as a tool, not just to understand myself and express myself and my own emotions, but also to understand the emotions of others. Music has been found in every known human culture on earth. Every culture on every corner of the globe, we've found evidence of music somewhere in that culture. Modern, ancient, north, south, east, west, everywhere. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I think that, tells us that music is really an integral part of the human experience. It's something that separates us from the animals. It's part of what makes us human. And so when we learn about other cultures, when we sing the music of other peoples and other places, we get to experience a little bit of what they've experienced, and we get to know them a little better. I think music opens up our world so that we're not just focusing on our own emotions, our own experiences, but we're learning about all people all over the world. When we sing their music, we can learn a little bit more about them. So those are just a few of the things that I absolutely love about music and about singing and choir in particular. Singing is the voice is the instrument that everyone has, and there are just some amazing things I think that you can do with the voice. You can sing text, and there's no other instrument that can replicate that. I'm sure you'll hear me speak a lot more about that this year, so I'll try not to go too much longer on that, but I'll just go on to the next question. What kind of music teacher are you? Ms. Thomas said she heard a lot of students asking this question, wanting to know what kind of director I will be. And I'll tell you a little bit about kind of my approach to teaching and directing choirs. I hugely believe in the growth mindset. I do not believe, even a little bit, that some people are just born talented and they're great singers, and other people are born untalented and they can't learn to sing. That is not true. Every student is musical. I really believe that every person can be musical. Every person can learn to sing. You might not start with the same natural ability level as someone else, but everyone can start somewhere and everyone can grow. I heard a quote recently on a commercial at the Olympics that I really loved. It said, "You don't need to be amazing to start, but you have to start to be amazing." And I really like that. I think the growth mindset is absolutely huge. That understanding that it's not just all about talent, that no matter where we are or what we can do, if we work hard, if we challenge ourselves, if we put in effort, we can grow. We can become better at whatever we want to. That is something that you will hear me talk about a million times this year, is that growth mindset and applying that to our singing. I think that having discipline and working hard in choir makes our experience so much more rewarding. I want this to be a fun place. I want this to be a place where you feel safe. I want to make a classroom where everyone can step outside their comfort zones. They can challenge themselves. They can try. They can fail. This is a safe place to make mistakes, to fail, to pick yourself back up again and keep trying and keep going and keep learning until you get to where you want to be. And I hope that we will all work together to create that environment where everyone can feel safe to be their true self, to be their best self, and to not just stick with where they're at, but push themselves and become even a better version of yourself than you were when you walked in the door today. So that's the kind of teacher that I am. I am an excellent musician. I work hard. I have fun. And I'm gonna to push you to be your very, very best this year, both as a person and as a singer. As soon as even today, you're gonna start learning. You're gonna start working on developing some repertoire, learning some pieces, and when I get there, that process is just going to continue and even ramp up more so that we can have a great year, COVID or no COVID. We're gonna make this a great year of singing and music making. And just kind of rebuild the community and the amazingness that choir is after the last year and a half. I think that it's going to be a great return to singing, and I hope that you all will enjoy it as much as I know I will. The last question was, what do you like to do for fun? Just, a little bit of get to know me. What outside of choir are you interested in, Miss Earl? I love anything outdoors, not so much in the summer in Las Vegas, but I love running and hiking, rock climbing, biking, anything to get outside and have fun in the outdoors, I really love. I've taken some dance classes. I love social dance, especially country swing dancing. I love to cook. I love to read, and I love ancient Near Eastern studies, studying the history of just the biblical times and places. That was what I ended up studying for a little bit in Jerusalem, and have loved being able to study that as well. So those are a few of the things that I like to do for fun. I'm sure there will be lots of new things that y'all will teach me about and that I'll pick up on. That's just a little bit of who I am as a person, and who I am as a musician and as a teacher, and as hopefully someone that you will have a great year with. I am so excited to be coming to Foothill. I know we're going to have a great experience, that I'm going to have a lot to share with you, and you're going to have a lot to share with me as well. Let's all make sure that we give our best to Mr. Party and Miss Thomas, who are absolutely amazing. I've been able to talk with them so much and work with them, and they're really going to support you in this first half of the year, or not half, but for however long it takes, this first part of the year. So let's say a big thank you to them. And Foothill, I can't wait to come and meet you very soon. Until then, see you everybody.